Hello, this is Todd Franklin, owner, broker, million-dollar producer at DFWCityhomes. Here to answer the question, what is the seller's disclosure notice? In the state of Texas, it is required by law that any seller of a residential property provide the buyer, prior to executing the contract or soon thereafter, the seller's disclosure notice for their information. The seller's disclosure notice is for the seller's protection and the buyer's information. What that means is any deficiency described on the seller's disclosure notice can't be used later as a reason to sue the seller by the buyer because of some damage to the home that was later discovered. Typically, those kind of situations include aluminum wiring or underground sewer or plumbing problems, things you can't see behind walls like mold and mildew problems, problems maybe with the roof and so forth. The seller, in disclosing these items, is able to protect themselves from future actions by making those available to the buyer. So that being said, it's also an information document. It has a description of all the features of the property. It has an area where you can say that you're aware of any malfunctions. And also typically there is a place for a seller to identify any reports they have and items need a repair regarding the property to make those available to a buyer. So in this version, this is the seller's disclosure by the Texas Association of Realtors. There's a place that you can indicate that during the last 4 years have you received any inspection reports. Typically that would be an inspection report from the inspector. Could be from the seller selling you the home. Could be from a foundation company or a roofing company or anything that would indicate the condition of the property. Those should be listed here and provided with the seller's disclosure to the buyer. It's important to understand that there's basically multiple versions of the seller's disclosure notice used by different realtors. This one is produced by the Texas Association of Realtors. There's also one by my local association, MetroTex, and those by all the other associations across the state. And then there's the most simplest seller's disclosure notice that is produced by the Texas Real Estate Commission, and it's a promulgated document that you can find on their website. The important thing to know is the section of reports is not on the TREC disclosure documents. The TREC disclosure document has the minimum requirements, legal requirements for a seller's disclosure notice. That does not include that section for inspection documents. So be aware, if you're a buyer of a home and you're handed the TREC seller's disclosure, you need to ask questions. Are there any reports? Why did they use that disclosure and not one of the other disclosures? Ask information and find out there's a reason they use that TREC seller's disclosure, because if they did, you should be suspicious. To know more about the seller's disclosure, what all these items mean, how to complete the seller's disclosure, I recommend that you watch the MetroTex YouTube video on seller's disclosure that is at this link you can see right here. Thank you. If you're considering selling your home or buying a home, take a look at DFWCityhomes.com and consider us for your transaction.